No, my Heidi Meyer, welcome back. Another series of Where Are They Now? We are, wow, quarter of a century, episode number 25. Sensational. So appropriate that we have another one of our great fellow classmates from 89 to 93, fellow boarder. Now, memories of this guy for me. Funny, was a very good footballer, good soccer player, played first 11 football, but towards the end of his years at school, tried his hand at rugby and actually was a pretty bloody good rugby player, just quietly. I have the fondest memories of that. Wonderful member of our Polish community, tight with Polish whānau such as the Capsticks and the Fifes, very close-knit families that I was very lucky enough to get to know. And I have a memory of this guy's father pulling up or coming to visit him at school in the boarding hostel and like this big Nissan Godzilla Skyline that was like racing, like the big V8 that you see racing around at Bathurst or something. Just some memories I remember of this guy. Enough from me. Time to say g'day and kia ora to the one and only fellow we called Jabba, Gerrard Jablonski. G'day, Jabba. How are you?
Awesome, huge. Nice, man. Yeah, I'm good. Everything's awesome, and this is a long time coming, and I've loved seeing all the names of everyone. A few videos coming through. I've seen, probably half, so it just takes some time to get through it. But yeah, things are awesome. Yeah.
Awesome, Jabba. Great to see you, my friend. I have the fondest memories of you at school, and it's been a long time. So for me, and I'm sure the rest of the guys, it's just great to see you.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, look, I had good memories, and we had a little chat, and we just talked about Facebook that I'm not so active, but it's a great way, those sort of things, to see what people have been doing since and what everyone's up to now.
Good. All right, take us back. 93 or just before. So tell us about your time. What brought you to Silverstream? Where you came from? How many years you did? And can you remember your first boarding bay in Redwood?
Yeah, I actually grew up in Silverstream, so Mum and Dad had me down to be a day boy, and then I went to St Brendan's, but I left and had Form 1 and Form 2. Mum and Dad went up the Kapiti Coast to Waikanae, so I went to St Patrick's School up there, and so over 2 years I managed to fashion quite the sexy mullet that I could actually put into my mouth, and I had a cousin who left just before I came to Stream, and he said, I'll give you 2 bits of advice. Cut your hair before you go to Stream, and don't play soccer unless you're any good. So yeah, I came to boarding school, signed up to play rugby. Justin, you reminded me about 4B with Justin Marshall, the classic, passed me the ball and he had a funny eye and hit him in the head or something in the class. So yeah, that's where I started. Redwood, I don't remember the bay. It was the second to the last one, but it was the one that you could hear when David Wallace had his new rugby boots and he rucked the shit out of poor little Scotty Jensen in his bed at nights. Yeah, so that was sort of one of my earlier memories of boarding school when I first started.
Quite amazing, buddy. Dave Wallace has been brought up a few times just quietly.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, all for good reasons. Yeah, it was pretty cool, and I look at you saw those 7th formers in the early days, and when you had the cane and the discipline was maybe a little bit stronger. Man, when Dave Wallace walked down the hallway, your back was against the wall, you wouldn't dare nudge him or bump into him.
Oh yeah, look, I remember, and our good mate, of course, Fifey Mark Fife, I believe, has just been to Shane McDonald's 50th at the weekend. Of course, Shane being the head boy of that year when we were 3rd formers. Just unbelievable. All those guys, I don't know what you thought, but they were just so big. They were all huge, big guys when we were little 3rd formers.
Yeah, I mean, Murphy, they would have been okay for his size, but for the rest of us, mere mortals and little 3rd form, 12, 13-year-olds, yeah, they were huge. They looked like adults, didn't they? And just the legends that they were.
Now, listen, I do remember you at school. You did have a beautiful flock of head of hair, Jabs. When did it start sort of just dropping away?
Mate, it was around sort of 2021, so going to guys' 21st and that. I was actually at the old Loaded Hog in Wellington, and back then when you went for a piss in the urinals, you used to have the papers or stuff up there to read, and I peripheral vision saw someone stand there and they were looking at some sort of advertisement, and the guy says, that'll be you soon, mate. And I sort of turned my head, have a look, and it's an ad for Regain here. I've had the number one ever since.
Wow. Oh, don't worry. I'm not far off. Probably why I wear a cap most of these videos. Now, hey, take me that big Steinlager sign behind you. What's the story with that? Where's that from?
This was just when we finished college, I think, and it was a South Africa game, and a whole lot of us went to, I think it was McAllister Park it was played at, and then there was a Steinlager village. Anyway, I've got a boring wall in the background here, so I wanted to prop something up there. And actually, there's a bit of a story with this one that I don't know if anyone remembers, but somebody from our year streaked at the end of that rugby game. Whoa. Mr. Greg Toms, dirty old Fiji. So I wasn't at the game. I was at with whoever was up at the village, and then sort of ripped this off the wall and carried it through town in Courtney Place for the rest of the night. So it's been in Henry and Helena's garage while I've been overseas, and sort of in my garage for years. So anyway, I think it makes a good backdrop.
Mate, does it what? And it's lasted the test of time. It looks bloody new.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, so that was good.
Take us back to 94. What did you do your first year out of Stream?
Look, Stream was good. Had a great time. Then I went to CIT. It was the first year CIT opened up, first year of BCA. So there was Aidan and Jamie and Fifey and various others that we went there. And yeah, look, it was okay. I did a couple of years and didn't do well. So sort of left 1 year at CIT, 1 year at Vic. But one of my memories from CIT was Jamie bought a golden V8 HQ Premiere. And I remember sort of cruising around this thing, that sort of good. And it was pretty awesome cruising around in that. And the boys have said, trips to a tote and various sort of drinking things. Second year, then I went to Vic, and Fifey and I flattered Karori. Oh no, that was a bit later. No, I actually met up with a whole lot of guys that I didn't hang out with huge at school so much, and it was a lot of the day boys, the hut boys, and they sort of took me in, and I hung out in their flats in Karori and just got up to crazy shenanigans. And believe it or not, that's 28 years ago. And our group are still really strong today. Like, we catch up all the time. So this is the likes of Brad Owen, Joe McDemee. I've got Cy Quirk, Fifey, Mitchell Gray, Richard Green. Stu's over in London, so is Todd Nicholson. So Quinny's sort of been in amongst the ranks as well. So all the guys that are in the hut. So it's been amazing that life has continued with these guys and their families and that, and it's been really amazing.
Wow, you mentioned some great names there. Now, I just sent a message out to the boys actually, because I'm really trying to get in touch with some of the day boys, and we want to hear their stories as well, and would love to catch up with some of them. So if you're watching, I'm coming for you. It'd be great to hear your story. Hey, now, look, tell us about your job. What do you do for a living? What's your occupation? And maybe have you done it for long? Have you done other jobs over the years?
Yeah, so I'm kind of a commercial accountant, finance manager. So I did 2 years at uni, and when I'm struggling, so below C grade, which probably isn't enough, and worked for a couple of years and did an Outward Bound course, just the one in Anakiwa. And then I've got this thorn in my side. I did okay at school, studied okay, and then I'll go back, and like Mouth was saying in his interview, I sort of really kicked into it. I was ready, and took me 4 years to finish a double major accounting and info. So yeah, look, I actually, funny, my first job was in foodstuffs in Silverstream, and so where we had the cigarette thing, and so it's quite funny to work across the road from there. And then I left, and so all these guys I talked about, I had a whole lot of these friends that were over in London, and my girlfriend at the time was friends with some of them as well, and she said, let's go. So we sort of went to Mexico for 3 months on the way, and stopped in Guatemala and Belize. Wow. And it was awesome, man. It's just that once in a lifetime opportunity while you're not working. And then London, she had a 2-year visa, and I really got mum and dad to help me to get my Polish passport. which I've got. So we're strong in the Polish side of our family. Yeah, so I stayed there for over 8 years, and it was awesome. And most of us are over. There's a couple of the boys are still over there and will stay. And so London, everyone's got the stories of London. Huge, it's awesome. So work's always been in finance. I worked for Yahoo, which was pretty cool for a while. Boots the Chemist. I did a little bit for 20th Century Fox. That was cool. So on Fridays you'd go and watch movies in the morning and popcorn and that. I've come back here. I've worked for Fonterra as a management accountant. So it's all a little bit more Excel sort of stuff, right? But just moved up into leadership sort of roles, which is really neat. And I currently work for Karcher for about 6 years. But I'm based up here in Auckland. So first came back, the work wasn't really in Wellington for sort of my line of work, more private business, and came up to Auckland.
Well, you'd be happy to know I've got a couple of Karcher pieces of equipment in my garage, Jab. So good gear.
Nice, yeah, good to hear. Yep, good.
Hey, you mentioned Anakiwa and Outward Bound. Now that's always something that's fascinated me. I've seen a lot of. I haven't done it, but I've seen a lot of people that have gone on it. What did you think of it, and did it change you?
There's a few lessons out of it. That would be a funny one. I went on a corporate 8-day course. There was one, what they do is for 3 weeks, a whole lot of guys that were unemployed, and we really we spoke to some of these guys that had got them out of their circles and did something new and challenged them. And so many of them were quite motivated that they'd broken sort of these chains to go back and find work, and so it was cool. For me, I guess, maybe some of the guys might relate. If you remember at Sky, I quite liked some branded clothing, Country Road or the Rod and Gun, like we all sort of did. But there was one thing that was neat is they got us in your gear and said, you all got your Nikes or whatever type sneakers sort of thing. And you walk way out into the muddy things. And then they sort of say, hey, we're going to do this. You're going to roll around on the ground. But they make this point to say, but if your clothes are too precious to get dirty, you can walk all the way back. And it's sort of, you sort of realize, this is just material crap. There's bigger things in life. So that was one of a few things. And there's a few things I sort of go back to in my life that I picked up from there.
Wow.
Yeah. But it's good. Yeah, it's a good experience.
Yeah. How's your health been over all these years, Jabs? All good?
Yeah, health's okay. Just the looks are what I was given. So, as Fifey said, Jab, every day you wake up, you got more and more face to wash.
I reckon you're looking all right, mate. I reckon you're looking all right. Hey,
cheers.
It's quite cool. I'm not sure if you can see or hear, but I'm getting all these messages that are coming through as the guys are chatting on Facebook Messenger, which is really neat. I'm really enjoying seeing the reconnections and the banter and the messaging. It's just a wonderful thing to see. What have you thought of the videos that you've seen so far and that sort of reconnecting after all this time?
Look, I like it. It's great to see, and you'd recognise, people look the same or similar anyway, and the themes are really interesting. And it's interesting, a couple of bits, Beast, and you sort of went, I didn't quite know that Beast, how he was at school. You forget about maybe some of the bad memories, and you just saw these guys. That I think one of your questions, what do I remember or what do I like? And if I look at these videos, that's the balance that we all have, that we're not all the same, but actually how we all complement, or you got to a point. And one of my fondest memories when you watch these videos, and I sort of take the journey from 5 years of boarding, that fifth form, it was boarders and day boys, and then you clicked a bit better in fourth form. By the time you got to fifth form, whether you were Jamie Williams rugby player or Byers or someone more academic, we actually leant on each other. And then the Bears came into it, and you started, having the weekends out, and then you went into the sixth form and seventh form, and you just had, a lot more stuff together. And it's really neat that, you can put your differences aside, and actually, we all needed each other to get through, and we've all sort of been formed in some way or another from other people's past experiences.
Man, nothing more to say on that. I think you've nailed it.
Yeah, it's been awesome, and I want to see more, Huge. So keep getting more. It's awesome.
Great. Introduce your family to us. Wife, children.
Yep. I eventually did get married. So yeah, Jablonski's Polish for those that may have forgotten. And your mum and dad spoke some Polish at home. So dad was first generation Kiwi. I'm second, but my mum came over from Poland. So while I was in London, I met Monica, who's my wife, who's Polish. So I've sort of kept the Polish bloodline going. And we got married in Poland, and then she came back to New Zealand, never been. The wedding was awesome. I had a whole lot of family and sort of family friends come over. So he talked about Fifey and his family came over, and Foxy, his partner, she came over as well. And so he was the best man for it, and it was awesome. And if you haven't been to a Polish wedding, there's no beer like we have here, where you sort of go the beers and champagnes and wines and, you know, struggle a bit. It's just vodka shots. So you shoot a vodka shot and you have your Coke chaser or something, but you'll last it till 6 in the morning because you're just dancing and partying. So it's pretty neat. And then it goes for a second day. So yeah, so I met Monica. She's over here exactly 9 months later after the wedding. We had Logan. So Logan's 10 years old now. And those that know Fifey's old man, PD, he said he reckons it was a marriage of convenience, but it was 9 months after it, so not the case. and then after Logan, we had a girl, Adele. So we've got 10 and an 8-year-old. They were awesome. Logan looks like me, solid. Everyone says, yeah, he might be a good rugby player. Adele, I'll just say she's got character. And yeah, so it's good. It's 4 of us up here, and then we make our way down to Wellington to the hut every Christmas, down to Tony, so we catch up with, you know, some of the guys that are down there. Fitzy, so if you remember those guys I saw in the messaging, Scott Fitzgerald. So Fitzy and I were best friends at school before we came to Stream, and knew each other at Stream and a bit after it. And then I think last time I was down, you know, saw him down there as well. So yeah, it's great.
Wonderful, mate. Wonderful about your family, and I know your parents would have loved that you met a lovely Polish girl and that you married her. So well done to you, mate. Well done. Now, where do you live? Where's home for you?
Yeah, so we've moved up to Auckland and sort of stay up here. Would I go back to Wellington? I'd struggle. For a weekend, you just can't beat it. It's awesome. But you know, this is just ready for work and stuff like that. So yeah. Oh, here he is.
Hi.
Logan, come say good day. Shout out to Huge.
Hello.
G'day, Logan.
There might be some similarities.
Very much so. How are you, Logan?
I'm good.
Oh, good, mate. And you, what are you? You're 10 years old, are you?
Yeah, I'm 10.
Oh, awesome. Do you want to say?
What do you think? Should Logan go to boarding school?
No.
Logan,
you might like the idea of
you might like it. The food's pretty good.
Yeah, heaps of friends. Yeah, you should see how many friends are going to watch this on YouTube. I showed you some.
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Logan, do you want to say hi to Logan? Do you want to say hi to your dad's friends that'll be watching this video that haven't seen your dad in a long time? Do you want to say hi to them?
No.
Do you want to say hi to everyone? No. Arrogance, man. There he is.
He does. He does look like you, Jabs. That's for sure.
Awesome. All right, we're going to finish off. I'll see you soon, huh?
All right, mate. Hey, we've almost finishing up, but that was nice to meet your son, Logan. My and just on that, my oldest son's middle name is Logan. So there you go.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. Now, nice. Memories. You've got heaps, like all the boys have. Is there anything in particular that sort of stuck with you that you'd like to share with the boys from your time at Stream?
Yeah, we've all got amazing stories of what we did from, I'll give you 2 and the rest can be over beers. So one was, I had my birthday in October. So if you guys remember, you didn't want to be at boarding school on your birthday, where you got wedgied and degra, and then the trend came to cut your fringe and you got the mad balls. Or the crucifixion, I remember getting caught out in the middle of the fields and you got the socks and you were naked there, and whoever the greenkeeper used to let you go. So I was in that run of the October boys, and there might have been about 7 or 8 of us in a row. I think Byers might have been a day before or after me. I can't remember who the others were. And you were just fucked because everyone went, oh, we just missed that person's birthday. Who was next? So that was one of them. And then one of the other ones, I quite liked our finishing in 7th form. So if you remember, you'd sort of pranked and did shit, the water bombs at ranks and that. But the night before, Dan Dowkey organised a trailer, and we got a whole lot of the manure from the farm. We filled that up. We got a whole lot of tyres ready. There was construction going on. And at night, at midnight, we all got up at night and we wheeled this up and we barricaded the 2 entrances by the mobile, and then the other side with tennis nets and all sorts of stuff so no one could get in. And then we pushed this trailer up with all the shit and we offloaded it in front of the 2 doors so you couldn't get into that white new classroom buildings. And I think vaguely, it might have been at the same time, somehow a sheet got thrown into the staff room at some point. A pretty good send-off. I think Bro Bede was quietly happy about the achievement, although he could never show that was good. But yeah, a couple of small ones to throw in there.
Oh, man, you got a great memory. Now, what are the chances of catching up with you at this foundation dinner end of July?
Mate, as soon as we finish, I'm going online to book my flights down and I'll book it in. So, yeah, I'm coming down, bro. And I really look forward to catch up with everyone.
Oh, that's awesome, mate. Now, this is really cool because basically the foundation dinner now, we've got a bit of a roll on. It's going to be like a mini reunion for us guys. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, I can't wait. And, look, Huge, some credit to you as well to keep this going. And it just keeps the momentum and say, yep, you just do it, go down.
Yeah, I absolutely, mate. Thank you. But look, no, it's just time. All the years have gone past and water's under the bridge. And, one thing we all know, and as we get a little bit older now, life's too short, eh? And we've just got to catch up and just celebrate and celebrate us as friends. All right, now, final thing for you, mister. Have you got now before you say that, I always remember your friendship with Fiji, with Greg Toms. You guys were pretty close, and it was great catching up with him recently. Now, have you got a message to the guys? I'm going to release this video out in the next 5 minutes. Have you got a message to your fellow mates?
Yeah, I want to say thanks to everyone you've all made me part of what I am today. And I look back on some of the memories, and some of them are good or bad, but they make us. So, thanks to everyone, and I can't wait to see those that can make it. And then it's not that hard for those of us that are in Auckland or something like say, mate, I'm at the pub or wherever it is, let's catch up. So if it's not this time, as you say, just find another time to catch up. Would be great.
Well, there you have it, fellas. Video number 25. And just once again, I want to thank Jabba for your time. You're a great mate. Look forward to seeing you in about a month and a half, my friend.
Awesome, Huge. Take it easy, bro.
Thanks, brother.
Later.